Right now, we're going to talk about some basic hookup for the Fatshark Attitude goggles. I just want to do a little review and touch base on some of the functionality. So I'm using my laptop camera because I'm going to be using my camera in this demonstration. So I'll be flipping the screen down and doing an audio portion only. So here we go. Let's take a look at some of the key components that are part of the Fatshark system. We have the 250 milliwatt transmitter, as well as the cables for the video component, as well as the power module. We have the goggles, and we have, and in this case here, I'm using a Mobius camera for this demonstration. It works excellent. It's an excellent machine. It's my camera of choice. Easy to plug in, works well with most of these transmitters. But there's a few cautions I want to talk about today in making this work. One of them is polarity of voltage. So in this setup here, let's take a look at some of the basic setup here. First thing here is we have the transmitter. And we have this Molex 5-pin cable that comes with the Fatshark unit. It then goes into, we now have the video and audio plug, as well as a power plug. So you can power your camera, and these are the basic wires that come out of the 5-pin Molex. So audio, the video, audio, and power. Now the power goes into the transmitter via this buffer, which is, you just plug your battery directly into this. Now you have to be careful, okay? This connector, the battery has to go in a very specific way. Okay, you can't, by some mistake that you reverse it, you'll blow your system up. So you have to be careful about that. And everything is pretty much lined up. So let's give a little test, and we'll talk about some of the other key components. So powering on the. It has a 2-cell and 3-cell connection in there for the voltage regulator. You notice that there's an LED light on there. Now, one word of caution, always have your antenna plugged into your transmitter when you power on, because the antenna is part of the load. So without the antenna, it will overheat. In fact, on my, this is the gimbal I use for my Bixler plane, and I even put a note on there to myself to make sure I plug in the antenna. If not, you could blow the system up. So this is my Bixler pan and tilt system. Put that over there to the side. So with that in mind, we have our camera, power our camera on, okay, and there's no on and off switch on the Fatshark. You simply just plug them in to the plug-in port on the side. Now it doesn't come with a battery, which is a nuisance. That's a bit problematic. This is a battery I use for various sources, but the fact that it doesn't come with a battery, I find really annoying, or even a plug for the battery. You have to go out and make sure. I mean, I fretted to make sure that I was getting the right battery and the right polarity, because again, I didn't want to blow up the goggles in the meantime. So this is the. It's hard to record inside the goggles because it's so hard to get a lens in there that will work properly, but it is very crystal clear in there. and it's one of the best images that you can get today. So it is a really great set of goggles. Again, it all depends on how good your camera is as well. So now these glasses are really good because they have the interpupil distance adjustments on the bottom, which I really enjoy. It has a place for diopters. I have no diopters in there. A couple of things you need to remember when using this unit. If you inadvertently change the channel up here, you'll say, it doesn't work. Well, it does work. You may have just changed the channel. Another couple of things I've done a couple of times is I've put my brightness all the way up or all the way down, and it just looked like a big blank screen. Make sure you adjust your contrast and your brightness with this button, and this is the reset. On the bottom of the unit is the adjustments here. This one here is a handy switch. If you're plugging this into a standard video source, a standard just a simple VGA cable, left, right, and yellow for video. I think it's RGB, I guess the RGB, RCA plugs. This is where you need to change your setting there to switch it off. This is your headphone jack for your audio. And over here is your video out. So if you're using a base station, you can put your video plug right into the unit, and you can use this use the goggles with any receiver. So kind of handy that way. What else? Okay, let's talk about. So these are beautiful. I have to tell you, these are phenomenal, fun, light. These are really light, which I really like. You can fly for quite a number of minutes before you wear out. So I love these. These are great goggles. The other thing I created that I just wanted to point out is I've created this OSD plug system, and I've also added another wire to the voltage regulator here, and I use that to power up the other various systems. So this here on the back of the transmitter, okay, on the back of the transmitter, there is a small little plug here which allows you to put in your OSD without cutting into your main 5-pin Molex cable here. You can actually use a small, I don't know what to call that plug, small JST plug or whatever, and you can actually, what I did is I spliced in my OSD equipment, so I now have my video in here, so I have a video overlay of my OSD, GPS, my OSD, and they feed into my camera. So now I get to see distance, my voltage on my batteries, etc., etc. So this here, you have to, depending on the OSD, it depends on the OSD that you have. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail because whatever OSD you get, it will be a little bit different. But the main point here is that there is a small plug on the back of the transmitter, a JST plug, I'm going to say, and it matches exactly on the top here. It matches your video. It matches your power, video, audio, and the green is, what is the green? The green, I forget what this green Molex is. Oh, that is the audio left and right. So the green and white are audio left and right. The yellow is the video, and then you have ground and power for your this is going out. So you can use that power, like I said, you can use the power coming out of the transmitter to power your camera, if you wish, if you have the connection. Notice that this here will plug directly into the camera and keep it powered up nicely. Let me just online. I have another video online that shows you how to. There's the Fatshark goggles come with a head tracker unit, but it only comes with a Futaba. Now, unless if you have a Futaba, that's excellent. It plugs into this here round. What were these round? What was the name of them? Anyway, it doesn't matter. And this here plugs into your JST plug on your on your radios. This one here is a Turnigy 9XR, and this simply plugs into the top. However, so what if you use the JR plug? Okay, and there is a JR plug setting on a JR plug that goes from the radio to the unit, and the head tracker works perfectly, just wonderful. But this is the one that comes with it. I found that it worked well, and there's a video up on my website that shows how to make that work. So all in all, this is an excellent system, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. Highly recommend this product. Beautiful to use, and be careful of your polarity, depending on your OSD. Okay, remember there's a little Molex connector in the back that you can simply plug in to add in your video for your other sources, so that you don't have to splice into this wire. You can keep it clean. I tend to be a bit of a nut. I've also added this extra power cable that is needed for powering your other devices, including your GPS. And I think that's it. Enjoy, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.